DSA, Nakwana, and Tashilaya to our people across the north and to our people across the Niger. IDSA, Otutuoma, and I believe I'm correct with that. Right?
Niger.
What?
Or the east.
What?
Niger.
Across the Niger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Otutuoma, yeah.
Am I correct or not?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's it. So, and you know, it's not just about people of these extractions, but everyone, you know, if it's in Delta, you say Migwo, and then everywhere. Welcome you to Morning Spring today on Western Spring Television, your program, our program, where we talk about everything important and it's about the betterment of this great nation called Nigeria. Afambo Femi Ojo. You know, I'm very prepared this morning, and here she is, Zoms.
Good morning, Femi. This morning, the spirit is spiriting in Nigeria.
I'm just bringing in the vibes.
You're bringing it down.
Up,
down.
Not down, up.
Oh, okay. The vibes. You're bringing the vibes up, but you're bringing it locally.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to, go to Efik, Benin, Calabar.
I can do that. And they will answer me. I know all of those things. But then, good to be back here.
That's a good one. Yeah, good to be back here. I'm all right. And you?
Very well. Of course, you can tell.
Yes, I can tell.
I am.
Spirit very is well. Strong this morning.
Let's do this.
It's very important for the spirit to be strong. Wherever you are, happiness is a choice. That's just the truth. Good morning to our dearest viewers. I am Uzom Seketiku. Welcome to the midday session of Morning Spring.
Yeah, the midweek edition. And of course, we are very ready. Yesterday is gone. Today is what we have. As they say, yesterday's... there is this analogy used by the motivational speakers. They aspire to perspire, to maguire,
to acquire,
and acquire.
to
all of these things, But today, we have opportunity to make it count again, to make it work, to give it a go, give it another push, another energy to right the wrongs of yesterday so that we don't keep complaining about what could have been when actually we didn't do anything or what should have been or what will be. On the program, we'll look at the headlines, from our major dailies across the nation. And of course, we then get talking about issues at the other side of that. And of course, today we are going to be looking at very critical issues, those kind of issues that you don't want to miss. That is our focus today. And by the way, we talked about Oyo State, not just Oyo State, Oyo Town and the throne.
Yeah.
And the new Alafi yesterday, Lento went around town and all of those things. And of course, it's expected. And that is it. Life has begun again
himself
from the royal part.
And the people around.
And of course.
And it's really great that they really welcome him. They love him. The love is showing.
He shows that way. And the carnage going on in Los Angeles hasn't stopped, taking different dimensions, and the people are working so hard, to curtail the fire. But I don't know how they will, actually.
Yeah, the wind
some of the components, especially the wind, is a natural factor, and we don't have power over that.
And we can't stop it. That's the thing. But when I saw some videos, the way the wind was... In fact, it was looking like the fire was looking like a bigger fireworks. It was just shooting, and it was like, my goodness, this is getting serious by the day.
Well, we wish them all the best and all of these things. We learned the military, especially the Air Force, were the high command of the Air Force. They were in Zamfara State yesterday. They landed there to ascertain for themselves the true extent of that airstrike, and to really ascertain it was human error or, human error, accidental,
killing of civilians.
Yeah, bombing of civilians, or it's just, just one of those things, collateral damage or whatever you say it is. And Edward Gwakwe, I think led that particular entourage, and they will see to that Nigerians are expecting that due diligence will be done, that we can learn from this. Unfortunately, people have died, and it's not good news that people keep dying. here and there.
Terrorists.
2 days ago, or 3 days ago, it was 40 people died in Borno State. A couple of persons died in Zamfara State. And as well, many things are happening. But then we learned that in the Middle East, talks are ongoing about a ceasefire agreement.
Yeah,
there is a ceasefire at the moment, but then a permanent season of hostilities between Israel and the Hamas, actually, because the battle now is not just from the Hamas. So we have many components to that battle. Hezbollah is there, the Syria situation is there. And so that things are done properly. Many mediators are in, the Qatari government, many of them. And so that the war will finally stop.
And some persons are insinuating that the reason Joe Biden is really putting his leg or his foot out for this ceasefire, is because Trump is soon to take over. So he actually wants it to be that it's worked out during his regime, not when Trump came into the
glory, right? But then we understand Biden's entourage are there, envoy. I think Donald Trump as well has representatives, because now in the next couple of days he will be sworn in as the president of the United States again. So he will have people who are looking out for him and his interest and his government. Right now, there will be transfer of documents and all of those things, transition between the Biden administration to the Donald Trump administration, and that's life continues. The nation, that's why they say, the country, the nation is bigger than every individual. No matter how powerful,
it's bigger than anyone,
you will leave. But then we hope, whether the Biden administration, according to some persons, wants to get the glory, or it's Donald Trump that's putting all in, or other persons just want to end humanity. People want that war to end right now. Not because of the soldiers involved in all of this, but because of the vulnerables, the women, the children, the young people,
lives are going every day,
who have died. More, if you put it together, more than 40,000 persons have died on the other side. Initially, more than 1,200 persons were killed when Hamas started this particular thing. And hostages are being taken. So
that's it.
The surrender of these hostages, I think, is forming the basis for the season of these hostilities. And we learned they will be released in batches.
In batches,
3 persons, 4 persons, and all of that. We just hope each camp we adhere, to
that's the thing.
The concession that will be made,
because
so
sometimes
that
when one camp actually says, "Okay, I'm ready," I'm ready, and maybe the other
camp even promise that they are ready, but one of them might just not play along, and then the thing starts again.
Well, we really don't want that, because war is not a friend of anyone.
It is not, actually. And then every war from human existence have always ended on the table. That's just the way it is. But then we go straight right in for the newspaper after this break. Good morning. I will be starting from the Daily Trust for today. The Daily Trust newspaper, Cash Crunch. CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira. You want to know why? Cash Crunch. CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira. Pick up a copy of this paper. Below that, you have a situation. Was wreckages and all of those pillages, and people trying to see the aftermath of what has happened. And it's about war on Gaza. Actually, Israel to ceasefire deal. Ceasefire deal. Okay. Another development to that is yesterday there was an information in which a key component of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government, that Ben-Gvir, was telling Benjamin Netanyahu that if he goes ahead to agree to this ceasefire deal, he won't definitely be given to that. He will not agree to that, and he might actually leave their cabinet because he's not meant for that. And that particular individual, Benguver, is even urging another key member of their cabinet, I think the finance minister, to support him so that they will prevail on Benjamin Netanyahu not to agree that the agreement they had ab initio is to go to war till Hamas will surrender. His battle to finish, not to agree to any agreement, at this point. So it's not just about Benjamin Netanyahu. There are key components of his cabinet that believes we are not going to agree. It will show maybe they are weak, and we are not weak. We decimate you people till you come with your two hands in the air to surrender.
Some persons will say that the worst form of peace is better than any form of war.
Right.
Because talking about this war now.
Some will say as well, to prepare for peace, you must always be ready for war.
Of course, you must always be ready if there is no other choice. But in this particular instance they are out for it. They want them to surrender. Why? Now, the people you're sending out to the forefront of this war.
The reason why Hamas should surrender, because they believe Hamas started it. And it was Benjamin Netanyahu's promise to the people of Israel that they will not stop until they have rooted out every Hamas. An Hamas member or the organization is a terrorist organization to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Fine.
Why some see them as freedom fighters.
Okay, fine. Now that there is a ceasefire talk on the table, why are you still pushing for it? I mean, the number of soldiers you lose or they lose every day, doesn't it count for something?
They believe those soldiers are serving their fatherland.
Oh.
That's what it is. But I think pressure is coming from different angles on Benjamin Netanyahu.
That's another angle.
To just make sure. And when your ally, the people who are backing you are telling you, let's go this way.
Yeah, do this.
And that pressure is overwhelming on him right now. I think we get to see maybe something positive might come in. But when you see Benjamin Netanyahu not agreeing, it's not just about the individual.
Yeah,
there are people in his cabinet that say, these guys, now they find trouble. They must surrender. And the Hamas as well. We just hope proper things will be done. Moving away from that, ex-Sokoto governor Bafarawa dumps PDP to where now? Bafarawa. And neglecting ex-soldiers dangerous for fight against insecurity, Irabo. And I think that's logical to think. If there are soldiers that have served the fatherland and they feel neglected, if no matter how patriotic they are, if they feel neglected and they are having offers from the other side of the divide, it will be very deep. And they are experienced people.
Of course.
We should not leave it to chance, where they will now be recruited
switch
by the
to
enemies
another
of the state.
No, it's
because they feel they have been neglected. That would be terrible. That would be unpatriotic, but then it will be terrible. Now, vulcanizer sets lover ablaze during an argument in Abuja.
Okay.
Vulcanizer sets lover ablaze during an argument in Abuja. What kind of lover, or what kind of love were they professing to themselves? And it's very difficult sometimes, right? When lovers turn enemy.
Yeah.
How did that switch happen? Somebody you've told, I'd like to spend the rest of my life with you, I can't breathe. Oh, I don't see you, I don't feel myself. And all of those sweet words and all those rees, the way they say it on social media now.
Yeah.
And after all of a sudden, it turns bloody, it turns deadly. Like we have seen now of vulcanizer, according to this report, who has set the lover ablaze.
Well, most of the time, there's talk about I love you and everything. It's basically physical. Sometimes some persons don't actually take it in depth. Now, when you start living with the person, you start seeing another side of the person, which you never saw before and which you were not prepared for.
But in this case, we're talking about lover. So
well,
we don't have that inkling that either they are married, because if it's your wife, they will say it's your wife.
Yeah.
So let's say
probably the lover was living, they were living together. Because how would you get the chance to go to someone's father's house and burn the person alive? Like,
I'm thinking too much of Nollywood is taking too long. Nobody said he went to the father's house.
That's what I'm saying. So
the lover could be living alone. she visited him. An argument might have. I don't know what happened, but I'm just saying it's always ironic to hear that some lovers at some point, and that love can shy away.
Maybe he caught her cheating.
And the punishment is death. We have his day with me lots. Unfortunately, that individual, we're not sure either she survived it or not. If she survives it, fine, but that means her life has been impaired.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, especially if the degree of burn is very serious.
It's very serious.
Let's just be careful. Let's be human. Pains are, someone will say pain is part of love. And I want to agree sometimes.
Well, sometimes, but not that kind of pain.
No, not that kind of inflicting severe pain. No, that's wrong. I'm talking about sacrifice and all of those things. Sure. Now, Boko Haram burns church houses in Borno. Here we go again. These are criminals. And by now, it should be clear that these, even when they try to camouflage under a particular religion, they should know. People of that religion should know these are scammers, these are criminals who want to wreak havoc on the people. Now, because if they are attacking churches, that doesn't mean they are for you. They have been found to attack mosques. They have been found to attack clerics, Islamic clerics who speak against them as well. So just take them as they are criminals. And no criminal should be given a room under any religion or tribe. At all. Because when they are done with people of other religion or other tribe, you will be the next target. By that time, the whole community is empty. Nobody will come for you. And that's the way we should see it. Evil is evil.
Sometimes I wonder how these people just wake up and you see someone and you kill the person. Like, you just snuff life out of someone, life that you cannot give.
They don't think the way you think. They don't take what you say. And then it has been established there is an effect of drug abuse. Many of the time, the radio camps, you see very terrible drugs in their camp, even when they are trying to show they are of a particular religion or they are protecting a particular cause in a religion. They are criminals and they are evil. Evil is evil. And what our people needs to do more is not to think, because this person is saying something that has to do with my religion or my belief, then he's my brother. He is not your brother. He's
that can kill.
Yeah, that's what he is.
That person is not worth calling a brother.
Not at all. So, and that's one of the issues. We should not apologize. We should not give them a soft landing in whatever form that they are coming. Because when they are done with the people outside of your compound, they are coming back for you. Now, we can't fight banditry with 20 armored personnel carriers, Minister. Okay, are we saying we only have 20 armored personnel carriers? We wait to see. Now, a large chunk of this year's budget has been, devoted to insecurity. To security rather. So let's make it count, Mr. Minister. Now, students leaders to get rice as Tinubu extends palliative to SUGs. When I saw, let me take that again. Students leaders to get rice as Tinubu extends palliative to SUGs. When I saw this news yesterday, I giggled the way you just did now, and I feel, what's the rationale behind you giving palliatives to student leaders, SUG leaders? Are they a means of conveyance of these to the fellow students? But they are not saying that they are going to give it to students and to be administered by SUGs. No, they are going to be given to student leaders, SUG leaders. As what?
Oh, well, because that's what we have in the country. The same way we have leaders at national level, state and local government levels. Gets what they feel is right for leaders. And then the civilians or the citizens are left to just fend for themselves. So that's the idea. So in this case, passing into the university.
The SUG leaders, it's not just university, they are polytechnics and colleges of education, student union government leaders. We have rice. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Well, it's what funny, I mean is, yes. Because
but some are already saying possibly is a way of recruiting them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's very easy to say, why student leaders?
Most of them already
if you want to show that you care for them as SUG leaders, possibly give them a tuition-free session.
Yeah.
Pay for them, not these student loan, which is okay. But, for the next 1 year or 2 years, all of you, and people with very good grade get this particular, and that will count. That will lessen the burden on parents. But SUG leaders right now, how do they say it now? They are Luther people. Aluta continua, Victoria Sata, go and collect your rice. That'll be all from Daily Trust.
Go collect your rice, right? Okay, from the Daily Trust, we move to the Punch this morning, and we have Southwest governors team up against ISWAP elements, bandits. I take that again. Southwest governors team up against ISWAP elements, bandits. And the writer there, governors working on intelligence reports as Southwest monarchs demand proactive step. And we have our dispute with General Hydrocarbons is over transparency, says FBN. Our dispute with General Hydrocarbons is over transparency, says FBN. That's, yes, it's Federal Bank of Nigeria, First Bank. Now we have UTIDE. CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira for ATM cash scarcity. Nigeria earned 50 trillion naira from crude oil in 2024. Really? 50 trillion naira from crude oil. That's a good one. We hope we start seeing this money and everything. Want to be seeing them. Owani's ex-queen, others regain freedom after 21-day remand. Okay, I guess they sorted the bill and they are out. Ogun lovers wanted for allegedly killing Chinese. Okay, now these are lovers that killed a foreign national. Okay.
And it's bad as well.
Of course,
Terrible.
It is bad.
Yeah, that's a crime against humanity.
So long as a life is taken,
involved, a
life is involved, it is bad. No matter how you want to sugarcoat it, it is bad. Court hears suit challenging Lagos Calabar Highway contracts. Court hears suit challenging Lagos Calabar Highway contract. And we have a picture there for convocation at the African University of Science and Technology. And we have lots of people there. We also have Okonjo-Iweala. We have Prof. Azikiwe, Peter, and lots of others there.
Right.
If you want more news on that, you can pick a copy of the Punch for that particular news. And the last story there on the Punch, we have opposition demands impeach speaker's probe as GAC meets Lagos Assembly leaders. Opposition demands impeached speaker's probe as GAC meets Lagos Assembly leaders. And that'll be all on the Punch this morning.
All right, from the Punch, we look at the Guardian. The Guardian for today. Better equipment, compensation, prosecution of terrorist top agenda. Talking about the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And, 15th of January of every month.
Yeah.
I mean, of every year. Is Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And, is a day. It's a week-long ceremony. In fact, all of January.
Yes.
You see government officials, individuals, having that tag, on their chest. And this is them showing that they are in and the support for the veterans who have passed on, the ones who are alive, and, to show the armed forces that we are all with them. So today, 15th of January, is you will see it will be marked by different activities, laying of wreath at different state capitals, in Abuja as well. Everybody will show, and essentially just to celebrate those who have paid the supreme price, keeping the territorial integrity of Nigeria, keeping us as a nation, protecting the people, and they have gone to the great beyond. So we lend our voices as well, and on this particular day we say, you guys give a salute to those that have passed on. Thank you for all you did while you are here, and extending it to those that are still in service as well, to say whatever be the challenge, Thank you. To the members of the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian police, all of the security agents, and to the veterans who have fought and retired, thank you for all you do. Morning Spring, Western Spring Television, Western Spring Television, we are celebrating, those who have passed on this occasion of 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And of course, take that again, better equipment, compensation, prosecution of terrorists, top agenda. And I think that's right. Below that, we have 50 billion naira budget, can't end insecurity. Matawale tells lawmakers, go ahead and take other points because many persons have their reservation, especially on the minister and some of the baggages that he has, some of the things that have been alleged against him while he was governor of Zamfara State. How that state was under him and how that state is right now. The current governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, has alleged many grievous things against him. And this same person is now the Minister of State for Security in Nigeria. So it's
tricky.
Well, maybe not, but it's the kind of polity that we have found ourselves. Because somebody with that kind of baggage should be investigated. So at least it would be good for him at the end of the day, if he is innocent, for him to come and say nothing. And everybody will have seen that, oh, these are just allegations, than him having that toga on himself. Is just there and he's sitting pretty in the place of security, while the person that took over from him is alleging him of being compromised in security in that particular state.
Let me say he's sitting pretty.
These are the issues because he's sitting pretty because he doesn't appear like anything is moving him. He's going ahead, having briefs, talking about security.
That's the thing, because that's the kind of like you said, that's the kind of politics we play in Nigeria, where people that naturally are not even supposed to be handling certain positions in the country are there
superintending. These are the issues as well. So this is not agreeing with the allegations against Matawale, but I think he should be investigated. So that, as I said, if he has nothing incriminating on him, himself, his children, his family, his legacy will be protected. But right now, nothing has been done. The guy is still being kept there and he's talking to security. These are the issues. Now, police threaten litigation, demand apology from Amnesty International. All right, and that has to do with some reports given by Amnesty International against the Nigerian police and the way they handled the August 1 to 10th end-back governance protest. And they were alleging them of severe brutality. All right, an obedient movement factions exit won't affect LP, says party chief. Again, obedient movement factions exit will affect LP, says party chief. Many persons will say, what is Labour Party without the obedience? Actually, but then we are learning it's a part of the obedient faction. How should let me just go ahead. Now, ASU opposes diversion of TED funds resources as reps push tax reforms. That's one that we should not let slide. And seaport rehabilitation, others missing from 38.3 billion maritime allocation. Seaport rehabilitation, others missing from 38.3 billion maritime allocation. The minister should speak up on that. And the minister is former Osun State Governor, Alhaji Adegboyega Oyetola. Top strip, CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira for not dispensing cash via ATMs. Why this is good and commendable, and it will serve as a deterrent. The thing is, the Nigerians that were denied the opportunity, the comfort of going to the ATMs and sorting themselves out. How do they benefit in all of this? Because the 1.35 billion naira fine that has been imposed on these banks. So when these banks pay, who takes it? The government. The people who have suffered that time gains nothing. So for me, I will say that it's not just about the fine. It should come with something more severe, like loss of jobs. I mean it. Because if people know, if banks are paying, the institution is the one paying, right? it might affect maybe emolument and some of those things. In fact, if it affects a bank too much, it is still the workers, ordinary workers that are there that will get sacked.
Yeah.
The top guys will still maintain their job. And the tellers, the cashiers, they don't make that decision. It's the big guys up there that make those decisions. So this should come not just with fines. It should come with severe consequences, like the loss of jobs. If a bank manager knows that if he or she does this, and especially he or she doesn't follow the law, the banks that he's pretending will pay, and he will certainly lose his job. I bet you nobody will do that.
Wait, you know, from this talk, it also brings me down to what we're talking about the other day about these big guys that always have cash at their beck and call.
Yeah, the socialites.
And then the ordinary civilians, ordinary citizens of the country can't even access ordinary 10,000 naira from the ATM. And you see people with bundles,
people moving around in bags, like mints.
Like, exactly.
Where do they get it from?
Where did they get it from?
You see what I'm saying? The guys on the counter don't make that decision.
I know.
Those guys you interface, they don't make that decision.
They don't even go to them. Once they come, they go to.
They only give them instructions. Office. That is it. That's the thing. So this 1.35 billion naira is a good one. Those banks will pay. They don't have any choice. And if the payment will affect any bank, it's the guys at the lower cadre that will lose their jobs. So who is losing? The ordinary people are the ones losing. But if a bank manager, the chief executive, the board members, I don't know if they are involved because the board doesn't really do that. The big guys, if they will be affected, then nobody will do that. So I dare say, kudos to the CBN, but you can do better by making this to come.
They can also
if it will follow legislation.
Task force.
Yeah. Tax force.
Well, we don't.
Excuse me, I don't know what that means for Nigeria, because those tax force will not be brought from England. They are still Nigerians.
That is it, because of the kind of country we are in.
It's because of what people do, actually. It's not just on the nation as a geographical entity, but it's on the people.
And people usually
the system that we have.
They'll take it down. They'll take it down to poverty. But I say that sometimes,
most
of the time,
poverty.
your personal view or what you stand for. If you're someone that is disciplined, values. If you have that value, you have it, and you say, okay, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. I tend to do the right thing.
I agree with you.
You definitely will do the right thing.
On this matter, it's not about poverty, because EDs, managing directors, business managers, all of those guys, they have nothing to do with poverty.
No, I was thinking about the task force, you know, sending a task force when they go there and
you've seen what task force has done before.
Sometimes, and they can make the matters worse.
They can make it worse. They can cherry pick. That's why I say those ones will not be brought from heaven. They'll be brought from here. It's because of the system that we have that is not big on consequences, irrespective of who you are. If any bank manager, business manager, executive director, whatever knows that there is a system that will cut you in size, everybody will behave. And the ordinary guy at the counter or teller will have no choice than to follow. That's the way it works. Now, Reps panel faults 286 million naira allocation to 109 foreign missions. Excuse you? Reps panel fought 286 million naira allocation to 109 foreign missions. 109 foreign missions, having 286 million voted for them. How do they share? No wonder so many persons have said the position, the situation rather, of many foreign embassy. You know, Nigerian embassies abroad is an eyesore. It's terrible. You can hardly have anything done. So imagine 109 embassies having to share 289 million. How does that work?
It's a million, but when it's related to something that has to do with the getting of cars, you see the money in billions.
You are the one who have said
in trillions.
I think let's just take one more paper and we get to speak to our guest.
Okay, at the Nigerian Tribune this morning we have NAS demands detailed report on Ministry of Livestock Development. And the writers there, senators, reps frown on 1.8 billion naira budget for 2025. Minister told not to restrict projects to cattle alone. White paper on ministry still not out. You have CBN sanctions 9 banks for failing to dispense cash via ATMs. NERC transfers full electricity regulatory oversight to 4 states. And PDP NWC to convene amidst controversy over National Secretary position. Ude Okoye expected to attend. And we have Funke Ebemode's column, debates with Madam President's budget. JAM Registrar debunks report on spending 850 million naira on fumigation. Says amount spent on fumigation in 2024 less than 1 million naira. Okay. So who exactly is saying the truth? Okay. All right. We'll let them decide that. And we have the top strip there, and the last story we have First Bank says no abuse of court process in dispute with General Hydrocarbons Limited. And that'll be all on the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
And that'll be all on the headline segment. When we come back, we'll speak to Aegis. Stay with us.